counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son, you got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, you got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome into the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Milwaukee Brewers, Chicago Cubs. Game number 2 of the series. Quinn Priester on the bump for Milwaukee, going up against a familiar face in Colin Ray for Chicago. 6:40 first pitch from American Family Field. Game number 107 on the season. Easton McGee recalled from AAA Nashville. Craig Yoho optioned down to AAA Nashville. Eric Hostia fade. Danny Jansen on the active lineup.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
We'll start things off with the Northsiders of Chicago visiting American Family Field in Milwaukee. Leading things off, the first baseman, Michael Busch, batting second, Kyle Tucker. In right field, the DH is Seiya Suzuki. He bats third. Pete Crow Armstrong in center field, batting fourth today. Nico Horner at second base will bat fifth. Ian Happ in left field will bat sixth. Dansby Swanson is the shortstop, batting seventh today. Reese McGuire, the catcher, will bat eighth. Matt Shaw at third base is batting ninth. Now for the Milwaukee Brewers, Sal Frelick in right field will lead things off. Jackson Chourio in center field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base, batting fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Bryce Terang will bat seventh, play second base today. Anthony Siegler, the third baseman, will bat eighth. Rounding things out for the Milwaukee Brewers, it is the shortstop batting ninth, Joey Ortiz. Well, yesterday was awesome. That was a fun one to watch for the Milwaukee Brewers. It was quite the pitching matchup for about 5 seconds until Jacob Misiorowski got blown up, and then able to figure it out later on in the contest. Milwaukee Brewers looking to add to this series, trying to clinch the series against the Chicago Cubs today after the victory yesterday. How did it all go down? We go through it in the first segment of every show, The Rewind.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
The Phenom, Jacob Misiorowski on the bump, going up against Matthew Boyd, has been a stud all year for Chicago, and Jacob Misiorowski had a rough first inning, a leadoff single to Michael Busch, a little stoinker right in front of Jackson Chourio in center field, a walk to Kyle Tucker, and then an infield single from Seiya Suzuki. Pete Crow Armstrong strikes out, but the ball gets past William Contreras. Then some infield single magic from Ian Happ, able to get another couple runs to come across. I can't believe they called that a hit. I cannot believe that it wasn't an error on Jacob Misiorowski. But it is a hit in the scorebooks. 2 runs would come across on that. It was 3-0 early on Milwaukee as they are down to the Cubs. Offense started off slow. You got to jump to the third inning, though. That's when things started to groove for Milwaukee. Leadoff single from Sal Frelick. Jackson Chourio would strike out swinging. Then we saw William Contreras pick up another hit. It was 2 men on, and the Brewers' former MVP, Mr. Christian Yelich, up at the plate.
Into right. That's going to score at least one. Frelick is on the move. Yelich into second, Contreras to third. The Brewers are on the board.
Highlights courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network. Christian Yelich gets the first run on the board for Milwaukee. Andrew Vaughn would be walked. That would load the bases. Isaac Collins at the plate to tie things up.
Line to right, a base hit. That'll tie the game. Vaughn headed for third. It's a brand new.
Went with a fastball down the middle. He was protecting against a changeup, able to barrel it up and hit a bullet in the right. Wow.
Isaac Collins been fantastic this season. Bryce Terang would hit a sacrifice fly. The next man up would score Andrew Vaughn. You know it had to be deep enough if Andrew Vaughn was able to score on it. The Brewers answer back with 4 runs in the bottom part of the third. Jacob Misiorowski would dial in for his last few innings as well. He retired his last 10 batters to come up after the 40-pitch first inning that saw 3 runs come across. Jump ahead to inning number 5. Christian Yelich grounds out to start off the inning. Then the legend of Andrew Vaughn would continue.
Oh, Vaughn, deep left center. He's done it again. Vaughn is the Brewers' pretty new pet.
Andrew Vaughn has been up with the team since July 7th. In that time, he is batting .341, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs in his contest, has a 1.128 OPS in that time. The guy is literally Aaron Judge right now with the Milwaukee Brewers. Go look at the numbers. Very, very similar. He just hasn't done it for the entire season. But it's been awesome to watch Andrew Vaughn develop with the Milwaukee Brewers as of late, and he would continue. That home run would make it 5-3. Brewers were not done hitting homers in this game. In the 6th inning with 2 outs, Sal Frelick poked his 8th one of the season.
Frelick right field. That one is deep and gone for Sal.
A little bit of defense to help out the pitching in inning number 7. Grant Anderson would come in. He ended up giving up 2 base runners. We saw Jared Koenig quickly come into the game. He would give up an RBI single to Kyle Tucker. However, it could have been worse if Jackson Chourio wasn't playing center field.
Ground ball up the middle, a base hit. That'll get a run home. Bush will take the turn, go to third. Here's the throw all the way through. He's toast. Jackson Chourio with a one-hop dart to third to get the out.
It was 6-4 after the Sal Frelick homer. It was 6-3, but that run made it come across 6-4. The Brewers needed some insurance in the 7th inning. They would get it via the 2-run blast by Christian Yelich.
Fly ball right center. It is back and it is gone. Christian Yelich with his 20th home run of the year.
First time we've seen Christian Yelich amass 20 homers since 2019. He's right behind that pace of 44, it sounds like. No, I don't think he's going to get to that number, but nice to see Christian Yelich get back into the swing of things. In the top of the 9th, Craig Yoho came in for Milwaukee, had 2 men fly out immediately to start the game. Then he would walk Michael Bush and Kyle Tucker. I don't know if I've seen Pat Murphy ever more angry in my life to have to call in Trevor McGill, but it was 1-2-3 from the closer.
Got him! Ball game over. The Brewers are back in first.
Back in first place for Milwaukee. The victory going to Nick Mears. He went 1 inning, had 2 strikeouts in the contest. The loss to Matthew Boyd. He's now 11-4 on the season. 5 innings of work, 5 earned runs, 6 hits for Boyd, 5 walks as well, a season high for Matthew Boyd. Trevor McGill picking up his 24th save on the season. Jacob Misiorowski's final stat line, 4 innings of work, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. His ERA is still sitting at 2.70 after that. 3 runs, 1 of them was unearned. Again, I feel like it should have been 2, although it is weird to me that when pitchers commit errors, they still consider them unearned runs. Feels like you kind of did that on your own merit already, too, Jacob Misiorowski. But very nice to bounce back. He threw 80 pitches in the contest and the 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. Obviously a stud as well, too. We'll have some sound from him later on in the show. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Who was the MVP of the last game for the Crew? Who stood out the most? Let's find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Brewers now in sole possession of first place in the National League Central with a win and improved to 20 games above 500, 63-43. Milwaukee needs a win on Tuesday or tomorrow to secure the series win and improve to 13-5 in home series play this year. Crew is now 51-10 when they score 4 or more runs in a game. They've scored 4 or more runs in 9 of their last 14 games. MVP Christian Yelich, 20th home run of the season, extends the Brewers' lead in the game. 4th 20-homer season of Christian Yelich's career. It's first, as I said, since 2019. He's the first Brewers player to record 20 homers this season. His 3 RBIs are the most in a game since June 20th, when he had 8 in that game against Minnesota, if you remember that. That was also Yelich's most recent performance with multiple extra base hits. Christian Yelich spoke to the media after the game. Here is yesterday's MVP, Christian Yelich, after the Brewers' victory.
Wrigley wind coming in, or a giant outfield in Miami. How nice is it to get a couple of bounces and see one go over?
Hey, as long as I go over, it doesn't matter by how far. So even though it's got some yellow paint on it, we'll take it. And, it was just kind of nice to stretch the lead there for us, and guys did a good job of shutting it down.
You've never been one to worry too much about your numbers during the season, but to get to 20 homers, which you haven't done since 2019, does that have any meaning for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's always cool, right? Like, it's probably been a little too long, but it's nice to get there again, and still a lot of season left.
Kelly, how about the approach tonight against Matthew Boyd?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be a battle coming into the game. He's obviously having a great year. We've faced him before. He's a pretty good pitcher, so we knew it was going to be tough, and we just had to keep, putting together good at-bats, grinding, just getting in there, making it messy, and doing what we could to control the zone, and you just see what happens. Just credit to the guys for battling. You get down early there, but we knew it was still the first inning, so it was like, hey, just chip away. We don't have to get it all back right away. Just try to get one and see if we can, make it a game later on. So guys did a great job battling. It was fun to see.
What's been the impact of Vaughn hitting behind you and what he's brought to the middle of the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, he's been huge for us, right? Just stepping up, and it's kind of a theme throughout our team. If when you get an opportunity, you're put in a position, just do what you can to contribute and help the boys out. So it's been great to see from him, and he fits our group really well, just who he is as a person and competitor and player. So we're glad to have him for sure.
What did you learn about Mizorowski tonight?
A lot. I told him. I was like, that was my favorite start that you've had so far in the big leagues. Honestly, all the cruising and punchies and all that stuff's fun and exciting, but it shows you a lot about what he's made of out there when it's kind of hitting the fan on him. It can get away from you. He gave up 3 runs. Probably felt like he should have gave up none. He threw them to the backstop and then throws one away. You can get down on yourself big right there. And, he reached back for a 101, and I knew it was going to be all right when he did that right after all that kind of happened. And that was awesome, dude. Come back in, settle down, and go back out there and put up 3 more scoreless innings. That's what it's about. It's how it's going to be sometimes in the big leagues. It's never going to be smooth sailing and be messy sometimes, but you got to reach back and compete when that kind of stuff's happening. And I'd love to see it from him, and I told him that's why it was my favorite start is.
From a development standpoint for a young player, can games like this for a pitcher or a rough day for a hitter, can that be better or more important for like the long term of just?
Yeah, I mean, well, you just draw back on experiences as a player, right? Like, he had a kind of a tougher one in New York, same kind of deal where some balls bounce weird, and then next thing you know, a guy hits a grand slam off you, and you're down 5, but. It's not going to be the first time something like that happens to him in his career, so he's going to draw back on that experience. But if I can just stop the bleeding right here, go back out, settle things down, I just keep giving the team a chance to win, keep letting the guys chip away and fight back, and that's what he did. So that was huge, and it's part of growing. There's a lot of new things that have come his way the last 6 weeks, and that's just another one that he'll be able to draw back on in the future when it happens again.
You've
Yeah, well,
played in
you
some
played-
very charged atmospheres for Brewers games in the past. What's this like in July, and what does it make you feel like when you're going to drive back here for another one tomorrow night?
It's fine. You know, we play a lot of big games, a lot of big series. You know, we knew there'd be a lot of energy and kind of just hype around the series, but, you know, it's still July. Regardless of if we got swept or we swept them or however the series plays out, there's still 2 months of baseball left, and we knew that. And, you know, we just kind of knew that, hey, let's go out there and play our game, you know, try to put pressure on them, and you never know what can happen. And just play hard and make it messy out there and just kind of play our style of baseball and see what happens. And good first one from the guys, and hopefully continue to play well throughout the series.
There is Christian Yelich speaking to the media after the Brewers' victory 8-4 over the Chicago Cubs yesterday in game number 1 of the series. We talked about Trevor McGill as well, Jacob Mizorowski in the performance. I know everyone wants to hear what the Miz has to say after the big bounce back performance. The start definitely inflated. 40 pitches in the first inning. It's literally half the pitches he threw in the entire game. The strikeout numbers were there, but a little unlucky, it felt like, in inning number 1. Jacob Mizorowski reflecting on his performance yesterday after the 8-4 win. Here is the Miz after the game.
That was to get through it.
It's a long inning, so everything, the long innings, sucks. You feel like you start feeling a little loose, and every pitch keeps in the way just that little bit, but, it wasn't too bad.
Would you tell yourself, or what was the conversation to get yourself ready for what was ahead?
Yeah, just keep going. Just trust that the team's behind me and, going to help me out, and, they did, so it was awesome.
Did you have any conversations with Hookie or Jim or anyone like that in the dugout between innings that helped you settle down?
No, nothing crazy. They were just like, keep going. You got this. Like, they're not hitting you, so keep going.
Where'd that ball actually get you on comeback?
Right on the shin. Yeah, not fun, but I'll be fine.
And then what about going for that bump? The knee buckled some?
Yeah, that sucks, but, still need a bank of play. It is what it is.
Have you, when you're out there, sometimes bad things happen, bad luck happens. Have you ever had an inning like that, though, or it just seemed like it was sort of snowballing?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's not the first one, and damn, it's not going to be the last, so it's, it's just one of those things.
Do you take more from the struggles and the bad luck there, or the settling down and the 10 straight outs to finish your outing?
Definitely the settling down and getting the 10 outs. The team really needed that, and, thought I did my job in getting us in a position that we can succeed.
How did you think about yourself? This is the first time at this level you've had a gut check.
No, I think the first time I had a gut check was New York, but no, that's part of baseball. You kind of just learned it from a young age to, move on.
How did you buckle down and win that Horner at bat? Because Murph said that would have been it for you if you had gotten on base.
10 pitch at bat's never fun, but it is what it is, and just keep throwing pitches and trust that you're gonna win.
What did you think of the offense's approach? I don't know how much of it you saw, but against a really good pitcher like Boyd, to just kind of take all the pitches they did, swing at the ones that they got. What did you think of the way?
Yeah, obviously I wasn't paying too much attention. I was worried about other things, trying to win my side. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Yeah, it's awesome to have guys that really succeeded against a guy like that. So it was awesome.
If you didn't know, Jacob Mizorowski thought it was awesome. He loves that word, for sure. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 up in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz getting you caught up on all things Brewers Cubs ahead of game number 2 at 6:40 today. Quinn Priester going up against Colin Ray from American Family Field. Trevor McGill, I want to play his post game at the end. We will have Pat Murphy sound on the other side as well. We're going to talk to Austin Herdina at 6 o'clock over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Drew Wagner will join us of Forbes Sports at 6:15. Trevor McGill had to come in for just one batter, got the strikeout, picked up his 24th save of the season. How did the closer react in post game? Here it is.
Trevor, what did you just think of the way that Miz was able to settle in after the first inning went kind of haywire on him?
Mature pitching, right? Throw 3 up in the first inning and, make an error yourself and then pick yourself back up and get the next 10 people out. That's huge, right? Just kind of shows the development and the mentality that kid has.
just for you guys, for the offense too, and to pick up the win in the way you did against a really good pitcher over there? Is that kind of summarize the way things have been going for you guys the last couple months? You just stay in a little bit?
We stay in there. I mean, he's had like 0.5 ERA in the last 5 starts, 25 innings coming into this. Dude's an all-star. He's been shoving all season for him. So for us to stay locked in and pick up Miz there and pass it off to the bullpen, that's just good baseball.
Trevor, what's your mindset? You got a 4-run lead in the ninth. Are you still geared up knowing that you could still be called on?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we just called Yoho back up, and, obviously the leash will be a little short there and 4-run lead in the ninth. So just can't stay – have to stay locked in there and can't, take any pitches off knowing just, how quick that leash might be. So, yeah, it's first 2 batters, pop-ups, and then just kind of nibbled a little bit, and, we got him out of it.
101 on the first pitch.
Yeah.
You came in not screwing around, I guess, huh?
No, feeling pretty decent today.
Trevor, do you enjoy these games here with the Cubs, this environment?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's the best rivalry in baseball right now. Between that and the Dodgers and Padres. So, I mean, every time we play either here or over in Wrigley, it's not a seat in the house that's empty, and everybody's energized. So these games, they bring the excitement, that's for sure.
There is Trevor McGill speaking after the game. Love his comment on best rivalry in the game, one of the top ones in the game right now. Couldn't agree more with Mr. McGill. Felt like a lot of Brewers fans showing up yesterday as well. Usually feels like Chicago sometimes can drain out Milwaukee in these games, but the Brewers fans showed up great. A lot of noise being made, and the Brewers come away with the 8-4 victory. On the other side, we'll hear from the manager, Pat Murphy. We have some pregame sound from him, courtesy of our good friend Drew Wagner. We'll hear from Craig Counsell. There was, unfortunately, Ryan Sandberg, of the former Chicago Cub Hall of Famer, passing away yesterday at age 65, just shortly after announcing a prostate cancer diagnosis within the last year or so. We'll hear some of that sound in our Eye on the Enemy segment. And, of course, later on, we'll hear from Austin Herdina and Drew Wagner. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
drive, base hit down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the Coach's Corner. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on Brewers Cubs Game 2. Quinn Priester going up against Colin Ray. Before we hear from the manager earlier today, let me run down Milwaukee's lineup one more time for you guys here. Sal Frelick leads things off. He's in right field. Jackson Churio in center field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich is the DH, batting fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field bats sixth. Bryce Terang at second base bats seventh today. Anthony Siegler at third base will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz, the shortstop, rounds things out. He will bat ninth. Earlier today, Pat Murphy, manager, your Milwaukee Brewers, spoke with the media. Our guy Andrew Wagner, so kind to send over that pregame sound, and we're going to hear from the manager now, getting ready for game number 2 against the Chicago Cubs and coming off the victory 8-4 yesterday in Milwaukee.
How do you get a new catcher
in the lineup
up
with
to
William?
Speed? No, not in the lineup. Just now that he's here, get him up to speed with the whole group of pitchers.
The great thing is he's a veteran, and he's been through this before. He understands it, and he's eager. You know, coming in here today with no sleep, he's eager to learn whatever he can learn. So he gets it, and we've given him a little bit here and there. And it'll take some time.
Was that just like a fresh arm, or what was?
Yeah, fresh arm.
Skills-wise, what do you think Jansen brings?
You know, it's just what I hear. You know, so I'm thinking that this is a right-handed bat. It's going to be someone that we could use as a DH even at times. He's a veteran, so I think that those are important things.
Is there any positional versatility that we don't know about?
No, I don't think so.
Just kind of looking at the offensive profile for him, for Jansen, he's a bigger pull guy. You guys don't have a lot of guys like that throughout the roster. Do you think that's something that can kind of complement what you do have and kind of give you something new?
I don't look at it as air pull. I know you do in the world you live in, with all due respect. I don't look at that. I mean, if you're saying that he's a guy, he's a right-handed bat with some power, yes, but he's going to be, expected to handle the bat and expected to conduct himself offensively like the rest of us. Try to get to first. So if it's just air pull, we can find that, but it's successful air pull. You know what I mean? And it comes along with doing other things that make you successful offensively. So.
How challenging is it for a guy to immerse himself in the clubhouse culture when you're a new guy coming in at this point this season and replacing someone who is really well respected?
All of us have had new jobs, and you go, and there's that period of and it's how you go in. If you go in trying to prove yourself, you're not going to be yourself. If you go in being yourself, you got a better shot. So I think it's a matter of there's going to be a transition. There is for everyone. But how quickly and it turns around is sometimes out of your control. But, just go in and be yourself. And I think, it's the only way to do it. If you try too hard sometimes, you squeeze it too tight. That egg breaks all over your hand. You got it running down your leg, and it's awful. You're texting while we're supposed to be... I'm supposed to have your undivided attention. I made it at 11 o'clock last night. I think you should have it. Well, just text me. Just text me. Hey, who are you playing tomorrow?
1 a.m.
It's fine.
You up?
Seaver in there today?
Yeah.
There's your
And
stacking lefties.
You wouldn't be the only one texting me at 1 a.m. What's the lineup?
Kurt's on the board right now.
That's right
I
there.
haven't noticed that all year. Is that there every day?
Every day. Rotating.
Obviously, it was a great solid crowd again yesterday. Should be another good one today. What does that do for the
I saw a lot of
Eagles?
empty seats. They
Yesterday?
sold out. At
Yesterday
least in the
was
first couple innings when I was
41
looking.
something? Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Was this that was announced as a sellout?
Announced.
What are you saying?
Sellout or otherwise, what is the feeling like when it is this Cubs series? And obviously, it's a lot louder than it might be for a normal Tuesday.
Yeah, you know, I've been lucky. It's 10 years I've been dealing with Cubs Brewers, you know what I mean? And it's awesome. You know what I mean? They're all great. They're passionate fans that I think both organizations respect each other. I know I respect the Cubs a great deal. And, I think it's very healthy and it's great for the fans, and that's what's important from that perspective. They come, have a great time, handle themselves, you know, with class, and yeah, our part it's you know, it's playing against a great team and an opportunity to you know, to play a great team and all that comes with that.
Did you know Ryan Sandberg?
I lived on the same street as it, in Equestrian. Yeah. Awatuki, 1995. Yeah. Had a blue roof. It's not like we hung out together, but I got to know him pretty well. Great man.
What's it like seeing a familiar face on the other side and Colin mentioned him?
I mean, that happens time to time. I was with Colin Ray in 2011, or was it 2012, in A-ball. So his first indoctrination into pro ball, I was his first manager. So I've got great affection for Colin. And then to see him come back, and you know, I had him in the big leagues a little bit in 15, and then to fast forward 10 years, and you know, he got to be with the Brewers 2000, and then whatever other years he was with us, 3, 4, and then to see him now, I'm just so happy for him and his family, his mom and dad. I just love all the good that's happened and who he's become as a person and as a pitcher. God, that's so great. Like, that's a thrill, you know what I mean? I'll be chirping at him tonight and trying to give him a hard time, but just, yeah, it's awesome.
Marv, do you anticipate using Perk more like late in games for defense as a way to keep him just in the mix and built up, or was that?
Yeah, I mean, he's so
game by
valuable.
game?
Yeah, it's game by game. He's so valuable. You know, there'll be days he plays. He'll play against left-handers a lot. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of uses for Perk. But when you got Churio, Frelick, and Collins doing what he's doing, you guys don't even write about him. He's like the most, or maybe you do, but I don't read it, so how would I know? I don't read it. But do you write about him? Perhaps. Yeah, I mean, where do you go with that one? You know? And who do you take out late in the game? Whoever is maybe going to hit the furthest away, right? Because you don't want to take any of those bats out of the lineup.
You guys were way back in spring training.
Have you guys mentioned that Frelick hit a homer yesterday, and now I'm going to have to deal with the aftermath of that?
There's no doubt. It's kind of
Are you mad about this one?
I was mad about it. I'm like, couldn't he have hit a double? And I do. I get mad because then he loses sight of, like, you have an ugly swing. You're not a power guy. Just go ahead and get on base. Stop trying to be what you're not. You know what I mean? It's like a center, a 7'4" center, shooting a 3-pointer and hitting one and thinking they're a 3-point shooter. You know what I mean? Like, be who you are. Okay? You're a big fullback that you know, breaks a run for 22 yards. So now you think you're like a breakaway threat. You're gonna, you know,
How many does he have to hit until he becomes that?
A lot more.
So
Like
what-
12 wouldn't be enough for you?
12?
Is that like, what, 8, 9? Is it 8?
What if Sal had hit a home run and bounced twice off the top of the way from the mound?
I would be
That's
crushing
what I
him.
want.
That would be crushing him.
He would not hear the end of that for the rest of his career.
But how about the one Yelly hit the day before? It didn't go out. 105 at 27, is that right?
Caught in front of the wall, yeah, in the center.
Yeah. Is that wind? You think that's wind?
There's no wind.
The panels were open and the roof was open. What do you mean there's no wind?
On Sunday, wasn't it? It was just like a sticky.
No, it was definitely wind. Is he at the games?
Was it windy?
Does he stay at the games?
Was it that windy?
There is the manager, Pat Murphy. A lot of jokes today from the manager, Pat Murphy. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A couple other news, injury updates here, courtesy of Drew Wagner on Twitter. Follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. Updates from the Brewers medical staff. Nestor Cortez will throw a bullpen tomorrow. Robert Gasser will make another rehab start tomorrow for Appleton. So if you are in the Appleton area, you want to go see some baseball, it will be Robert Gasser on the bump for the T-Rats. And Rhys Hoskins progressing with a goal of late August rehab assignment. So maybe a little bit farther back than we predicted for Rhys Hoskins. Late August is the rehab assignment. Not sure how long that will be. But that is his progression right now. Little bit of time here. We'll play a little bit of our Craig Counsell sound that we have.
Nobody likes them.
Craig Counsell returning to American Family Field.
We all want to see them lose.
It's not my job to tell people how to feel about something or even to figure it out. Let people feel how they want to feel, and I'm good with that, and I think it doesn't have to be all positive.
It's time to eye up the enemy for today's game. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Yesterday, baseball losing one of their greats, Ryne Sandberg, passing away. 65 years old, Chicago Cubs legend, playing nearly his entire career there. Actually came up with Philadelphia in 1981, if you remember that. 1984 MVP, hit 40 homers in 1990. Hall of Famer, 2,386 career hits, 68 career WAR. He was a stud, for sure. An absolute stud. And Craig Counsell, however we feel about him, had opinions, at least, on Ryne Sandberg after the team finding out of his passing yesterday. Ryne Sandberg, 65 years old.
I just addressed the team and told them the news that of Rhino's passing, and we're saddened of the loss of a great man. We were lucky as a group this year to have Rhino in spring training, and it was an honor to be around a man battling for his life but wanting to come to the baseball park and spend his day with us. And I know it meant a lot to everybody in there, and we're grateful that he was willing to spend that time with us when things weren't going great for him. So it's a sad day for the Chicago Cubs, and he was a great Cub, and I'm grateful that we got a chance to get to know him this spring.
Craig, you spoke about kind of just that presence that he had when he walked in a room. Just what was that like when you were?
Yeah, it's what's so cool is that I think what we do for a living is about competing and beating people, but his presence was almost due to kindness, and that's such a rare, and he was probably living at a higher level than the rest of us, and I think that's what he was known for. That's what made him special, and that's why you people like that make you better. They make you better people.
Last year when he had the statue ceremony, you guys all came out and watched it.
Yeah, I know it was a special moment for the guys to be able to do that, and I think you get a sense of his place as a Cub and his place in baseball. That was an inspiring moment just to be there and for the people gathered there to honor Rhino. Yeah, I won't forget that for sure.
There is the manager of the Chicago Cubs, Craig Counsell, speaking to the media yesterday after the passing of Ryne Sandberg. Not a lot of in-game depth after that news yesterday, but wanted to play a little bit of that for our Eye on the Enemy feature. Coming up, we're going to do Building a Winner, presented by Ironworkers Local 8. No minor league baseball on Mondays. Don't worry. We got stories for you. It's the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? It's time for Building a Winner. Ironworkers Local 8 brings you Building a Winner. Skip the debt. Learn a trade. Apply now at iwl8.org. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8. Thanks again to Ironworkers Local 8 for being a part of the Leadoff Show all season long. Been with us a long time now here, Ironworkers Local 8. Over 100 games now at this point, feels like. Wow, crazy. Let me give you the lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers before we dive and take a look into the minor leagues. Sal Frelick leading things off. He's in right field. Jackson Churio in center field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field bats sixth. Bryce Terang at second base batting seventh. Anthony Siegler, the third baseman, will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz, the shortstop, rounds things out. He will bat ninth for the Crew. Off day yesterday across the minor leagues. However, there is a new updated MLB Pipeline top 30 ranking for the Milwaukee Brewers right now. Jacob Mizorowski has exercised his prospect status to this point, according to MLB Pipeline, so he is no longer involved. Brewers now have 5 top 100 prospects. Jesus Mate, number 1, Pena, number 2, Luis Pena, that is, both at Carolina. Cooper Pratt in Double-A is at 3, Jefferson Cuero at 4 in Triple-A, Logan Henderson at 5, also in Triple-A. One of the big risers so far this season, Bishop Letson, the pitcher at High A Wisconsin, now is 6th in the Brewers farm to this point. Luke Adams at number 7 is in Double-A Biloxi. Braylon Payne, a part of that stacked Carolina team, number 8. Marco Dinges, also a big riser, started with Carolina, now with Appleton, up to number 9. And Luis Lara, outfielder from Biloxi, has made a lot of noise. I think he started at 20 or so this year, has jumped all the way up to the number 10 prospect for the Milwaukee Brewers. They have not yet added anyone from the draft class yet. I'm waiting to see when that will be there. I'm assuming that Andrew Fisher probably sneaks into somewhere around that 13 to 11 range. You know, Eric Batanti is currently at 11 right now. Robert Gasser, Bryce Message are at 12 and 13. Josh Adamczewski at 14. Brock Wilkin at 15. I would assume he's somewhere 15 to 11 once things clear up when they add the draft prospects to the top 30. I would think Brady Abel might be able to sneak into a top 20 position as well, too, just because of his age. Tyler Black is currently sitting at number 21. I would assume they would put Brady Abel above him. So somewhere in that maybe 20 to 15 range is where we could see Brady Abel sneak into the top 30 as well. This Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. We will see minor league baseball back in action tomorrow. Milwaukee Brewers AAA affiliate Nashville will kick things off. I have the schedule for them right here. Sorry. Nashville has been hot as of late. They're going to be back in action tomorrow as we see, looks like tomorrow we will see Nashville. Why is it not working now here? Sorry about this. But anyway, Nashville, all of them back in tomorrow. Complex League wrapped up. Jaden Fielder over a 400 on-base percentage during that time. Dominican Summer League was in action today. Blue team taking on the Dodgers, the Mega team. I don't know how they come up with these names for some of them. Gold team taking on Pirates as well. They fell in that contest. Coming up, we're going to talk to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Get you some of the best bets if you want to get any action on today's game. Game number 2, Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Chicago Cubs. Quinn Priester up against Colin Ray. We'll talk to Austin Herdina on the other side of the hour. It is the leadoff show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
I'll see you later.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, other side of the 6 o'clock hour, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Austin Herdina at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, let me run down Milwaukee's lineup again for you guys here today. Sal Frelick in right field leads things off. Jackson Churio, the center fielder, will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field bats sixth. Bryce Terang at second base bats seventh. Anthony Siegler, the third baseman, batting eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop, batting ninth. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, you can find him over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, manager of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Austin Herdina, joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. Austin, how are we doing today, my friend?
Very well, very well. Excited about another Brewer win yesterday.
Yeah, that was an awesome one yesterday. It was nice to see the Chicago fans not really overtake, it felt like yesterday, watching it on TV. Has the sportsbook been popping with a lot of Cubs jerseys over the last couple of days?
You know what? Somewhat, but not as much as in the past. I think that the Brewers fans are really showing out. I think they're filling the stadium up about 40,000 people each game, it seems like.
Yeah, it was awesome yesterday. I think it was 41,000, probably going to be in the 40s again the next couple of days. It's been hot, too. 40,000 sweaty people up in that place on top of it. Brewers get the victory yesterday, 8-4 over the Chicago Cubs. Looking at the betting odds courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook for today's game, Milwaukee is a favorite today. They were the underdogs yesterday, minus 125 in favor of Milwaukee, plus 1.5 or minus 1.5. The run line will get you plus money for the Cubs, and the over/under set at 8.5 today. Austin, what are we liking today that you offer over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook to build a nice little parlay for the people?
You know, I've been really impressed with Quinn Priester this season. He's been awesome. He's been in a piece of the pitching rotation that we didn't know what we would really get from him this year, and he's just really surpassed expectations. I think he's going to come through with another big start for the Brewers today, again, to get a win against the Cubs. So I like the Brewers to win, and I like the under of 8.5. I think it's going to be a pitching duel today. But I also am looking at some hitters, and, you know, there's going to be some hits throughout the game, of course. So I like Andrew Vaughn to get a hit. He's just been raking lately. And then Pete Crow Armstrong is a guy for the Cubs that he's just one of the best young players in baseball. So you put those two guys to get a hit, the under in the game, Brewers to win, plus 800. So I'm going a little longer shot today than I normally do, but I'm feeling pretty good about the Brewers and the under and these two guys to get a hit.
Plus 800 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That is the parlay today from Mr. Austin Herdina, Sportsbook Manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That is Brewers money line, the under of 8.5, and Andrew Vaughn and Pete Crow Armstrong to record a hit today. Austin Herdina's parlay for the people. Austin, I know you guys have something special planned at the Potawatomi Sportsbook tomorrow in honor of the day game against the Chicago Cubs. Why don't you tell the people about it, listening on the Leadoff Show here?
Absolutely. So we're trying something new this week where we are doing some shuttles to Brewers games. So tomorrow we are opening up an hour earlier than we normally do. So we're going to be opening up at 10 a.m. on a weekday. And so come get your bets in. You get your bet in, you're going to get a bracelet, and that bracelet gives you a free shuttle ride to and from the stadium. So that'll take you right from the sports book. You're going to go out the back doors, and you go right from the sports book onto the bus, over to the game. They're going to be running from about 1 hour prior to the game, about every 15 minutes going up to game time. And then after the game, you got all the way until 1 hour after the game to leave and get back on that shuttle and head back to Potawatomi.
Wow, and surely you guys must charge for parking over at Potawatomi, right, Austin?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
So come place your vehicle in our free parking garage.
Wow.
and come place a bet. As small as $5 bet will get you a ride in the shuttle. So instead of paying the high prices of parking at the stadium, come place a $5 or $20, whatever you're comfortable with. Come place a bet, and you're going to get a free ride to the game.
I mean, I don't know how you beat that deal. $5, go place a bet. You could make money actually by this, and by that logic, go place a bet on maybe your favorite team to win tomorrow. Does it have to be on Brewers Cubs, Austin?
It does not. It can be on any game, anything happening tomorrow. You just got to place the bet tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that's a sweet deal. You can place a bet, $5 literally on anything. Even if it loses, what a deal. You get a free ride over to American Family Field. I'm pretty sure the parking is like $40 when the Cubs are in town too, so you're saving a bunch of money if you do that, plus all the hassle of getting in and out of the stadium. Potawatomi Sportsbook going to take care of that for you as well too. Coming up this weekend, SummerSlam, still spots available to reserve there, Austin?
Yes, we do. So this Saturday and Sunday night, SummerSlam. Come on in the Sportsbook. We're going to try something a little different. We're going to do some wrestling. Get your spot. You go to Potawatomi.com, click on Sportsbook and reservations, and you'll see the two events for Saturday and Sunday. Pick either one, pick both, however excited you are for SummerSlam. Come on in, enjoy it with other fans that are excited. And then also we just put up the next UFC pay-per-view, the one in August. We got that available to be reserved right now as well.
That's awesome. Going to be a great time over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook every time. Big screens, games on everywhere, bets to be placed, vibes always high on top of it. Austin Herdina doing a great job as he always does. Austin, thank you so much for jumping on today. Enjoy the rest of your night, my friend, and of course, go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina, Sportsbook Manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. His parlay for the people again, one more time for you guys here. It is Brewers money line, the under of 8.5. Andrew Vaughn and Pete Armstrong to record a hit. It'll pay plus 800, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We need one to go through here on Austin Herdina. We had a good run there a couple of weeks ago, and we're waiting for another one to get back. This will get you back to even, hopefully, on what we've been betting on here. Danny Jansen, newest member of the Milwaukee Brewers. He spoke to the media earlier today. Drew Wagner, kind enough to send us over some audio. We got some time before we can get to Drew Wagner. I want to play you a little bit of that. Here is the newest member of the Milwaukee Brewers, Danny Jansen.
Getting this news last night and obviously getting the opportunity to play so close to home.
Yeah, definitely surprised at the news at first, and then, hearing that it's for the Brewers is, exciting. Obviously, the Brewers have been playing awesome baseball, and grew up in the state, about an hour and 45 minutes north, so definitely, being close to home, where my wife and I live as well, is awesome. So just excited to get here and meet everybody, be a part of an awesome clubhouse, as I've heard, and just compete with these guys.
I think we know about your ties to the Timber Rattlers, but what were your ties to the Brewers as a kid?
You know what? You're not going to want to hear it, but my parents, we grew up in Chicago. My dad and my brother, who was 7 years older, so he was more into it with the sports. We moved when I was 2 to Appleton, so I stuck with the family on basically the sports, so football, baseball, and all that stuff. So we had ties with the low A team, though, with hosting the players, which is really cool to have people around the house all the time.
Did you come down here and see games, Cubs and Sox?
We came a couple of times. I've been in this park a couple of times as a fan, for sure. It's always an awesome time at this park.
On the field, what do you think you're going to bring to the club?
Yeah, I'm just excited to compete and get to know these guys, the pitching staff for sure. Help out any way I can behind the plate, and then just try to have quality at bats and pass the baton to the next guy. Seems like that's what this club does a really good job of. Play really hard, and just looking to keep contributing on that.
You've been in this spot before, mid-season trade, having to learn some new pitchers kind of mid-season. What's that experience like for you?
Yeah, it helps having gone through that this time around. So it's just big things about communication. It's something that I like to do as a catcher. It's very important anyways. And it's going to be about talking with the guys and figuring out kind of what gets them back on track and what they have, and doing video and bullpens, and just put a lot of communication for sure. And then just getting thrown on the fire in the games is always the best way to do it as well.
You start that process today?
I'm not sure. I'm ready whenever my name is called the rest of the year. I'll be prepared.
Have you had a conversation about how the breakdown might work? Because they have a catcher here who doesn't like to not catch.
He's a stud, man. I've watched him playing against him on TV. He can do it on both sides of the ball. It's as good as they come. So I have not. Like I said, the rest of the year I'm just going to be prepared any way I can, whenever my name's called, and just that's going to be my goal.
Rowdy give you any good advice about playing here?
Rowdy said he loved it here. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Rowdy's a dear friend of mine, so I talked with him and he said, yeah, I'm going to love it.
Are there any of those players that your family hosted that you guys have stayed in touch with, or do you feel like that had any impact on you as a kid or as a player coming up?
Yeah, we had a couple for sure. I guess the one that most people know would be Adam Jones, that story. And then I stay in contact with him a little bit. My brother probably more, but after playing against him in the big leagues, it was a pretty cool moment. And then there's been countless guys that have stayed with us that have kept in contact, probably followed my career. And it's been a cool thing for sure for our whole family.
What's been the reaction from your family knowing that you are so close now?
Yeah, it's been cool. My wife, we have 2 children, and the thought of maybe sleeping at home is cool. We're not going to live too far away, so that's an interesting thing that I've never had to deal with or had the chance of having. So that's cool. And then I got friends and family. My parents are still around the Appleton area and stuff. So having everybody kind of around is a cool thing.
There is Danny Jansen speaking to the media earlier today, newest member of the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, I know some people were a little bit, up in the air about the move for Jadier Arenamo going on the other side to Tampa Bay. But I will say this, if you did not know on the information, he would have been Rule 5 eligible if he was not on the AAA roster next season for the Milwaukee Brewers, which means now, at high A, what were the chances he was going to make the jump all the way to Nashville the year later? I don't know if that was in the plans for the Milwaukee Brewers. Plus, obviously, middle infield and just in general, the shortstop, second base, third base, pretty tough to move up in the Milwaukee Brewers organizations right now. Danny Jansen ready to try to help the club immediately as the new backup catcher after Eric Haas DFA'd yesterday with the corresponding move. Coming up, we're going to talk to Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, get you some of the inside information, getting you all caught up on Brewers Cubs Game 2. Quinn Priester taking on Colin Ray, 6:40 first pitch from American Family Field. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the Clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign your kids up now for July open tryouts at focusbaseball.com, ages 6 to 17.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, one more time, Milwaukee's lineup today. Sal Frelick in right field leads things off. Jackson Churio in center field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, bats third. Christian Yelich, the DH, batting fourth. Andrew Vaughn, the first baseman, batting fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Bryce Terang at second base bats seventh. Anthony Siegler, the third baseman, bats eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop, batting ninth. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, you can follow his work at Forbes Sports, at The Fan Milwaukee. Follow him on Twitter, at by Andrew Wagner. It is Drew Wagner joining us here on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. Drew, I would just like to formally apologize for our boss, our colleague, our friend at times, Mr. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, for just choosing violence when talking to you today. I like to go through our conversations in a more cordial manner, and I thought he was totally out of line today, Drew.
I've known Sparky for 25, 30 years. I'm used to it. It's all good. He's fired up.
Oh, yeah.
He's fired up.
He cares. I know he cares. He's passionate. I know he's passionate. But sometimes he just gets a little emotional in these things. And I like to be, on your level of mellow and chill, like we're at a Turnpike Troubadour concert together or something along those lines. And we can just have a good time and chat about baseball in the process. Drew Wagner joining us from Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter, at by Andrew Wagner. Drew, yesterday, we didn't get a lot of talking into it today, a lot more of just catching up with game number 2 for Brewers and Cubs. But I heard you say you thought that yesterday might have been Jacob Misiorowski's best start of his pro career. Care to elaborate on that?
I really do. He went out and showed something yesterday. That first inning could have knocked anybody, a young pitcher, out of it. That could have been it. For him to go out there and make the adjustments and believe in himself and not lose confidence, not get shaken, not get knocked out of sorts, to come back and then retire 10 in a row, whatever it was, that showed something yesterday. That showed, I think Pat Murphy said it best. The kid pitched. He didn't just throw. He is really good. He is not just a one-trick pony with lightning fast speed. He can actually pitch. And we saw that yesterday. That very easily could have been a blow-up start. And it turned into an absolutely stellar outing.
Yeah, awesome to have him bounce back after inning 1. 40 pitches. He threw just 80 in the game. Half your pitches coming in inning 1, and you're able to get through 4. It definitely could have been a way worse situation for the bullpen yesterday. I completely agree. You were able, kind enough, to get us some sound of Danny Jansen, newest member of the Milwaukee Brewers. Seemed like a nice guy from what we heard. How do you think he fits into the role of this team? Is he strictly going to be maybe Eric Haas playing time? Do you think he could get some more action than Eric Haas had? We heard a possibility of DHing maybe. Danny Jansen's role with the Brewers going down the stretch here, how do you see that compared to maybe Eric Haas's playing time?
I think it depends a lot on what they get out of him. I think they kind of shied away from Eric Haas a bit because he wasn't really producing at the plate. He was good behind the plate. He was great with the pitchers. They like that, but they needed some more pop. And I know Danny Jansen's numbers are not awe-inspiring, but he does have some success against lefties, pretty respectable OPS. He's got a little bit more pop than Eric Haas has in his bat. I think it was just, it's a very small but necessary upgrade at a position where, you don't want to be left shorthanded.
Drew Wagner joining us from Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter, at by Andrew Wagner. Let's get into today's action, Drew. Quinn Priester on the bump. Does Quinn Priester know in the back of his mind that really the last time he looked like the Quinn Priester of old was against this same Chicago Cubs team back on June 2nd, that's what 5 means, June 2nd, gave up 7 runs in that contest, came in as an opener, didn't get the start in that game. How has Quinn Priester developed since that moment, and is he thinking about that in the back of his head, that he's looking for a little bit of revenge after the last time he faced the Cubs was really the last time we saw him look poor on a major league mound?
I'm sure he's cognizant of it, but I don't know if that really weighs into it because he's got a pretty daunting task in front of him today, and he's got to focus on that. I think he's got confidence knowing that he's evolved and grown and learned a lot about himself and how to pitch and how to be a big leaguer and all that different stuff since that outing. He's just a better pitcher. I don't think that's going to be weighing on him. I don't think he's out there looking for revenge. I think he's out there looking to just continue what he's been doing. And just kind of establish himself as who he is and not trying to compare it to anything else.
Drew, another question here for you, another new addition to the Brewers, but obviously mid-season, Andrew Vaughn continuing his dominant stretch right now here. Is this real life right now with Andrew Vaughn, Drew? Because this is a guy who, again, top prospect in an organization that they gave up on. They used the number 3 overall pick on him years ago in Chicago. And this new change of scenery in Milwaukee, he's got an 1,100 OPS as a Brewer right now. Been on an absolute tear, comes up in clutch situations constantly. And we just learned today that Rhys Hoskins, the rehab assignment scheduled for late August, does that mean we probably won't see Hoskins till September for the time being?
Yeah, certainly seems that way. You figure he's going to need at least a week of at-bats to get back to strength, and this is barring any setbacks. So, you have to hope that Andrew Vaughn is for real because it looks like he's going to be your guy for a while. Now, that could change what happens in the next 48 hours. They might make some additions there, make some moves there. But for right now, it looks like Andrew Vaughn's going to be the guy at first base, and by all accounts, he's more than capable of handling it. He plays it very well defensively with his bat. It speaks for itself. I think the Brewers knew this was in him. I don't think they were expecting to see it this quickly. They got it as an insurance policy. Things happened. They had to make the call, and he's performed well. Listen, this is a good player. And sometimes good players just fall into bad ruts and bad situations, and that seems like what it was for Andrew Vaughn.
Do they know who the emergency first baseman might be if something were to go wrong in the future? I don't think Williams played there, right? And Jansen never has any reps at first base. Is he going to just be rocking as the only first baseman on the roster for the time being?
It looks like it. Again, that could change in the next 48 hours, but Andrew Vaughn is kind of the guy at this point.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of backup there with Bowers injured and Hoskins injured. I thought maybe Ziegler got some time there. I could be wrong.
That sounds right now that you said it.
Yeah, he's been pretty versatile. But no, Jansen doesn't have any reps at first base. We asked about his positional versatility today, and there's none to really speak of. So, that's kind of it. You kind of ride or die with it, and so far he's done nothing to show that he doesn't deserve to be in that lineup.
Drew Wagner joining us here on the Leadoff Show. Follow him on Twitter @ByAndrewWagner. Game 2 today against the Chicago Cubs. Brewers, I know their bats, some people tend to question it. They put up 8 runs yesterday. Today, Quinn Priester on the bump against Colin Ray. Is this another day for the offense to really have a better opportunity than tomorrow against Imanaga for Chicago? Is today a day that Pat Murphy might be a little more aggressive with the lineup? Do you think that they are looking strictly at today? I know you never like to look ahead, but it seems like this game 2 is the best opportunity for Milwaukee today to get the series.
Yeah. On paper, obviously, you go in intending to favor this matchup than you would tomorrow. It's kind of obvious. But I don't think they're looking too far past it because they can't afford to. Their approach is going to be the same regardless of who's starting. Their style of play is going to be the same regardless who's starting. You may do some things a little bit differently here and there on a day-to-day basis depending on the opposing starter, but for the most part, it's going to be the same thing. Right out at bats, get guys over, take extra bases, run like hell, and cash in on miscues. That's how this offense is built. That's how this offense has been successful. That's how this offense has the second best run differential in the National League.
Yeah, and even yesterday, sloppy on the defensive side for a little bit, and they're able to come back. Drew, I have a proposal for you. Earned runs when pitchers commit errors. I feel like that should be a thing. Now, I know that would impact Jacob Mizorowski, and I understand why errors are unearned runs, but why is a pitcher error not an earned run? It feels like that should be on your own merit, no?
Yeah, I've always thought that. It's one of those idiosyncrasies that doesn't kind of make sense when you step back and look at it. I'm actually right there with you.
Okay, sounds good. We're in agreement here. I'm glad we could have a nice, cordial conversation. I'm not going to yell at you at who they're going to trade for or why Eugenio Suarez isn't wearing blue and gold yet. I'm just going to say have a great rest of your night and enjoy the game tonight, my friend.
Yep, we'll talk in the morning.
All right, we'll do it then. Drew Wagner joins us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Follow him on Twitter, @byAndrewWagner. He'll be on all week with us. We'll have him on the leadoff show tomorrow. That'll be a fun one as the Brewers gear up for game number 2 against the Cubs today.
How does the Crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Keys to the game, how we finish every leadoff show. Milwaukee Brewers, the run total of 4. We're coming back to it today, and it feels strong again with this Cubs series. 51-10 if the Brewers score 4 runs in a game. It just doesn't even seem real. Why have they not put up 4 runs in every game, you would think? 12-33 when they do not put up 4 or more runs in a ball game. Get Quinn Priester some help. Stay hot, Quinn Priester. 9-0 in the last 9 starts for Mr. Priester and the Milwaukee Brewers. He is 7-0 in that time. Would love to see him just keep doing what he's doing. I just think that after Jacob Mizorowski, he might be my favorite pitcher to watch on this team. It's so exciting. Elite ground ball percentage. He's figuring out how to strike guys out now. And really just the rags to riches story of Quinn Priester is my favorite. I don't know how or who won Pitcher of the Month in June, but Quinn Priester's June, guys. He was 4-0 with a 1.98 ERA. In July, he's 3-0 with a 3.04 ERA. He's gone 6 or more in his last 3 outings. All quality starts. Has the second most quality outings on the team, only behind Freddie Peralta. Would love to see the same out of Quinn Priester again. That's going to do it for us here on the leadoff show. We'll be back tomorrow as the Milwaukee Brewers will wrap things up with the Chicago Cubs. First pitch 1:10 tomorrow. We will be live at noon as well. We'll have Austin Herdina, Andrew Wagner back on to join us for that programming. Today's game also on Fox 6. In case you were wondering, you do not need to go get your cable TVs out. Anything on local programming, always good for baseball. We're out of time today. We'll be back tomorrow. Freddie Peralta versus Shota Imanaga. Noon, the leadoff show tomorrow. Tommy Wortz, I'll be with you then. Live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, send them home.